Hello, welcome back. The sun is out. Now, I'm on a bit of a mission today. I've promised to help out one of the local societies that's just been formed, and I'm building the website for them. And I need some pictures, so I thought today would be the perfect day to do it. Now, the amount of times that I've passed through this valley going up to the Bulk Mountain have been thousands of times, and I've caught the bus up to this part as well. But I've never actually explored the mountainside, so it's the first for us all. So here we go, through the field. The sheep are out. See, we've still got sheep. This land, I think, is worked by the farmer. But just look at that view there. Absolutely stunning. Now, apparently there's a bull, so I better keep my bearings about me. So yes, I have no knowledge of this area. Down there is where the coal mines used to be. I was going to go to the homestead today. I have so much stuff to do, but I wanted to get some pictures of the area when the sun was out, after all the rain that we've had. So the situation is, there is an organisation called, oh hold on, information board. We live here, can you spot us? Okay, meadow pipit and a stone chat. Never heard of those type of birds before. So, like I was saying, this year a new organisation started called the Cwm Park Heritage Society, and somehow I've got involved, and I'm building a website for them, which is launching in a few weeks' time. So I'm here today to try and take some pictures of the area. And one of the plans they've got is to take on a bit of land and put a bench there so that it will never have houses on it. I can hear a cockerel somewhere. All I know about this area is that it was formed during the Ice Age. I'm just going to go to the top of that ridge at the end of this path. So where that white dot is, that's a van, and the road snakes all the way up to the top where you can stop and have an ice cream. Now they tell me it is possible to walk up there, but today is not the day. I can see the field of cows, I think. So I live over the mountain on that side, and it would take me about an hour and a half to walk home. But what's amazing about this area, this landscape, is the fact that the majority of the valley had fir trees built so they could use the wood for the pits. But here they didn't do it. So all these trees that we see are the original trees. Right, I better take some pictures. So the plan is I want to put the drone up in the air and try and take a very good picture of the basin. Well, wasn't that beautiful? There are so many places I can see, sort of little dingle dells and coves. I think it would take weeks to explore the place. If I could find a local walker who didn't mind being on the videos, it would be great to walk around and explore. Like there's a little section down there that looks like very old oak trees with the stream. Looks beautiful. And all this on the doorstep. It's just something about, like, as much as I live on the other side, I live more in a sort of dense forestry area. But sometimes it's nice just to come out and look at the expanse, as long as we don't get too close to those bulls or cows or whatever they are. Now I'm going to walk down to the bit of land where they want to put this bench and take some pictures down there. But I need to be quite fast because one of the disadvantages of this valley is there's only one bus an hour. And I think at some point in the afternoon it only goes to two. One bus every 2 hours. So I don't particularly want to walk all the way back down this valley. So I will pop down. Somebody's having a bonfire, which is a bit inconsiderate, especially on a day like today. You put out the washing. I put my washing out before I came out. Make the most of it. I've also got to pop into Treorchy because one of you kind viewers have sent me something through my Amazon wish list. But for some reason, it's always worked in the past, but this time they want to send the products to Treorchy, to Howard Street in Treorchy, which is miles from my street. So when I'm down there, although I don't know what I'm going to do, I can't just rock up at somebody's house and say, do you have a parcel? But I think I might just go and knock on the door and say, I'm aware of the problem, just keep turning them away, and then hopefully they'll go back to Amazon, and then we can start again. Right, I think I'm going to be walking through sheep. This is what it used to be like when I was a child. You could walk the streets, walk the mountains, and the farmers in them days didn't have any fences, so the sheep would be all over the place. Obviously, less cars in the 70s and the early... Obviously, less cars in the 70s and the 80s. And there was many a story where a pensioner went home and screamed at the top of her voice because she discovered there was a sheep sleeping on her bed. Look, just enjoying life. Now, I'm not quite sure where this bit of land is. It's behind houses. So I'm going to trot down here. Just thought, should have come here when it was lambing season to see the lambs out. Okay, that's something for the diary for next year. Also, this must look wonderful in the snow. Oh, it's nice when a bit of breeze comes across the bow. But when I do come back here, I'll have to bring my hat because, as you can see, it's quite exposed. And I don't want to get sunstroke. Right, we have to walk through these sheep now. There you go. He just asked to be on the video, so I said, if you just run past, I'll film you. He's gone to give the warning. Better keep an eye out for any rams. I remember being chased by a ram when I was a child. But I had faster feet in them days. Look at this one here. They're actually in somebody's back garden. Look at the three of them, all in the shade. Oh, there's four. Just passing through, nothing to worry about. I'd love to have a garden with the odd sheep walking in, as long as it didn't eat my veg. Right, this land here is a bit muddy, so I've got to keep my wits about me. Now this must be the bit of land here then. It was on the site of an old colliery. Just imagine living in one of these houses there and having this view. Right, this is it. But it's not the whole thing. It's just the part on the left hand side of the path. So the plan is, I think, first would be to dry the site out. It's very wet, and they want to put up a few benches here, maybe some flowers and vegetables in pots. Who knows, maybe it'll turn into a bit of a teaching centre. But look, if there was a hut for a cup of tea, look at this view. Having a nice cup of tea while enjoying this vista. There are a lot more sheep on the mountain down here than I thought there was going to be, to be honest. Right, let me go through this bog. There we go, it's dried out a bit now. And then we're back out on the street. Right, let me get the drone up and take some shots of this area. Just about missed that sheep poo. There we go, bit of filming done. Got my pictures for the website. Got about 10 minutes before the bus comes. But what an absolutely amazing place. It's strange how you can go past these places for your entire life, but you never actually spend the time to go and explore them. The trees down by the river are calling me, but so is the bus. So let's just jump on the bus now, and then I think we'll head down to Treorchy. It's a Monday, and Mondays I'm starting to realise in the valley, or at least the part that I'm in, seems more like a Sunday. Right. Oh, somebody's left it. Whose coat is this jacket? That's what they say around these parts. Whose coat is this jacket? Right. Now, I've got to keep my wits about me, because the bus goes up the main street, but sometimes it goes down the side street, as I found out to my cost the last time I came here for a meeting. I said, I've got to leave, the bus is about to go. I was stood in the street for half an hour until somebody said, you do know they go down the side streets. I also realised the other day that during the weekdays, the valleys are just busy. Not with people, but with white vans, delivery vans, darting all over the place. Now, while we wait for the bus, I'm going to take you down to this street, which is no longer a street, because all the houses were bombed during the war. My teacher, Mary Evans, who later became a friend, used to live in a set of houses that used to stand here. And also in the same street were a set of evacuees that had been billeted out of London to come down to the safety of the Welsh countryside. But unfortunately, on an April evening, a bomb dropped and took out the entire street and killed all the evacuees and the neighbours. Now, my school teacher, she survived. And back in the 80s, I sat down with her and I had her to recount the events of the night that Cwm Park got bombed.
Well, the night that the bomb dropped in Cwm Park was probably a nice spring day in April. My mother must have been ironing or something downstairs. It was a Tuesday night and she did her ironing on Tuesday. Sadie was out. I think my grandfather was up in the allotment, late on in the evening now. But then soon after the all clear, a second warning went. And with that, apparently now, Sadie came in through the door and she said to my mother, now I didn't hear this, but I was told afterwards, get Mary down from bed quickly. And the three of us went into the cwtch under the stairs because that's where we sheltered when the warnings went. Then Sadie just stood inside the door and she was fully dressed, of course, with her coat and a handbag from outdoors. Now we, in the cwtch under the stairs, didn't hear a thing. We didn't hear a thing of this bomb coming. And then we could feel ourselves settling, coming down and settling. With the result now that we were all in different positions when we came down. From being on my mother's lap now, I was just sitting and I could put my right hand up, just like that, up to my shoulder, and I could feel her face. So I must have sort of been thrown off her lap. Sadie then had been standing to my left. Well, I couldn't touch her. I could hear her voice, but I didn't know where she was. Because we were buried all night. I was under the debris for 6 hours. My mother was under for 8, and Sadie was under for 10. There was about a 2-hour interval between the rescue of each one of us. I was the first, so I was probably at the nearest opening. And apparently we had been breathing through a small rabbit hole, really, all night. And then, of course, another 2 hours had elapsed, and then they got to work on Sadie, you see, and as they got Sadie out, she had lived all night long suffering with her back, and as they lifted her out of the debris, she died in their arms. And I think that is really tragic. Apparently her backbone, must have gone with her. She must have been crushed, you see, all night. But the bomb that hit us, you see, hit the garden of number 11 and number 12, which they said at the time, it was a good job that it had fallen in soft earth, because if it had fallen in the tarmac street, the whole street would have gone.
Right, the bus is coming, but I don't know. How do you stop it? Do you just put out your leg, do you? Oh, this is the right one now, going to Blind Rhondda.
Yes, yes.
Now if it's dinner time, I might stay down here for some lunch. Let's move bus. Oh, it's nice to be in the cool again. Whew. Although it's Monday, not a lot of shops are open. But my cafe is, so that's good. Cozy Cafe's open, but first of all, let me just pop around to Caxton Press. See if any parcels have appeared. I've also got the address of where they've tried to deliver them, so I think I'll just go and knock on the door and just explain what's going on, as far as I'm aware of what's going on. Something so simple. Right, which one is it? It's across the road there. Right, I'll see you in a moment.